Հանուն հոր եւ որդվո եւ օգվույն Սրբո Amen. Dear brothers and sisters, today we have a very interesting reading from St. Paul's second letter to his beloved child, Timothy. So after talking about what will happen in the last days, and the bad character and the teachings of some people who claimed to be Christians, Paul asks Timothy to focus on what he learned and saw from him, from Paul, and says the following: Now you have observed my teaching, my conduct, my aim in life, my faith, my patience, my love and steadfastness. What do we see in these 10, 15 words? We see the Christian life summarized. And what I like in this description is that it is comprehensive. It has two things, without which our Christian life will be half broken, let's say. These two things are like the two wings of the bird. The bird cannot fly with one wing. It needs two wings. And Christianity, in order to fly, Christianity, in order to become alive in our lives, it needs these two things as two wings: faith and actions. Or in other words, faith and life. Now we have heard a lot quotes from famous people about the importance of matching words and actions, okay? And usually the focus is more on the actions. So we have heard something like, actions speak louder than words. Or, as I grow older, I pay less attention to what people say, I just watch what they do. So the focus is on the actions. But what I like in what St. Paul said to his dear child Timothy is that he doesn't ignore the faith for the sake of the actions. So let's say he doesn't say something like the faith or teaching, it is not important as much as your conduct, as much as your love, your actions. And on the other hand, he also doesn't say, do not look at my actions. Just look at what I am teaching. Just look at my words. Forget my life. Forget my actions. No. St. Paul makes faith and works, teaching and conduct, love and the aim of life go hand in hand for the Christian. Now let's look at our lives in light of these thoughts. Do our words reflect our faith and what we have been learning in the church? Do our actions reflect our faith in light of reading the Bible, reading other valuable spiritual books, listening to sermons, or even talking directly with God? So this is probably a test. And I'm sure some of us will fail in this test. Because if we look at our daily lives, our daily thoughts, interactions, the way we use different things, and let's say we compare them to the Sermon of the Mount. This is a teaching. I'm sure they might look very horrible and sometimes even unchristian. Or let's say if we test our lives with the teachings that come from the 10 Commandments. Do not steal, do not kill, respect your father and mother, do not have other gods, idols. Probably the same will happen, and we will realize that our lives are simply unhealthy. They are not Christian. My dear brothers and sisters, when it comes to Christianity, faith and actions should match. One without the other cannot work. I've seen many people, pious people in my life. I've seen them in church every Sunday. I know that they pray. I know that they read the Bible. I know their devotion. But sometimes you put them at difficult situations, and suddenly they will open their mouths, and you will hear only insults from them. Suddenly you will see unchristian behavior from them. And then you will say to yourself, oh God, what's happening? Is this the same person? He was just praying. He was just pretending to be the best Christian. Today, unfortunately, we have the example of these celebrities and other people who we know now have done horrible things, using their prestige, their power, their wealth, and their influence to do horrible things and silence others. Although we know them as great people in the movies, let's say, people who seem to have great faith in humanity and good stuff, their words are nice. But in reality, it turns out that their words, otherwise their faith and actions, didn't match. So this is first. Second, on the other hand, I have also seen people saying, you know what, dear heart, I'm not a big believer. I don't have that much faith, but I do good works, and that is what is important. I do good works for humanity. I do good works in order to not harm anyone. And I say, this is wonderful, it's good, but it's not enough. Because for Christians, every good work, every good conduct has its source in God. So if you want to do something good, it should be based on your faith on God. Do you know why? Because if you do them without having God as the foundation, you are going to do them for yourself. But in reality, we Christians are called to do good things. We Christians are called to match our works with our faith for God's glory, for our Father's honor and glory in heaven, not for ourselves. This is very important. So, my dear brothers and sisters, this coming week, let's focus, think, and pray about how to reconcile our faith and works. Because both of them are important. We cannot ignore any one of them. And this might be a good opportunity for us to learn about the importance of both. Because only if we can reconcile them, only then we will experience the true spirit of Christianity, something that St. Paul talked to his beloved child, Timothy. God bless you all. Amen.